expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to
Right.
It's like, well, if you love me, you should know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you love me,
You should be able to read
you
my
should
mind.
read my mind.
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith's love is one for the books, and they'll forever be one of Hollywood's greatest couples. This is not to say that although their marriage appears picture perfect to the world, that it is. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air actor and his Girls Trip actress wife have had their fair share of marital ups and downs, and maybe a little bit of premarital problems as well. So what or who has threatened the union of the couple from inception? Why was Will Smith threatened by Jada's closest friend, and who gave him the impression that he didn't really stand a chance with Jada in the early beginnings of their relationship? In his newly released memoir, Will gave a shocking revelation on how his wife Jada and Tupac Shakur's friendship was a big problem for him. Smith got very honest on how he felt and the jealousy he particularly experienced during the early stages of his relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith in his self-titled memoir, Will the Book. Both Jada and Tupac had previously confirmed on several occasions that their relationship was absolutely platonic, but that didn't stop Will from feeling insecure about the strong bond the two shared. During his press tour promoting his self-titled book, Will got very honest in an interview with The Breakfast Club and discussed an excerpt in his book admitting that he felt tortured by the friendship that Jada and Tupac had and how inseparable the two were. When asked if Will was ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac, the 53-year-old actor responded, "Oh yeah." He continued saying, "I could never open up to interact with Pac, because we had a little bit of a thing. They grew up together and they loved each other, but they never had a sexual relationship." He then writes in his memoir, "In the beginning of our relationship, my mind was tortured by their connection. He was Pac, and I was me. Though they were never intimate, their love for each other is legendary." Will continues in his book that he was envious of Tupac's fearless passion and militant morality, which he says prompted him to compare his own inability to stand up to his father, a man with whom Will shared a turbulent relationship as a result of his history of violent behavior and alcohol abuse. The father of three says he was spineless when he experienced the abuse he suffered from his father, and that experience in turn made him feel insecure and cowardly against Shakur, who embodied everything Will says he was not growing up. The Men in Black star also compares Pac, as Tupac is fondly called, to his younger brother Harry, who Will says would often stand up to their abusive father, noting that he felt inadequate in comparison to both. He says, "Tupac was like Harry, and he triggered the perception of myself as a coward. I hated that I wasn't what he was in the world, and I suffered a raging jealousy. I wanted Jada to look at me like that." As his and Jada's relationship progressed and evolved into more, Smith goes on to share that he felt an odd type of emotion he called a twisted kind of victory happiness, as the more time she spent with him, the less time Jada could spend with Tupac. "If she chose me over Tupac, there was no way I could be a coward," he writes. "I have rarely felt more validated." Will later revealed that one of his biggest regrets was letting his ego get in the way of getting acquainted or striking up a conversation with a lyrical genius because of his then-girlfriend's feelings toward Shakur, citing his youthful exuberance as a factor as he was in his 20s at the time. According to the Hancock actor, "Jada loved Pac, and that rendered me incapable of being friends with him. I was in a room with Tupac on multiple occasions, but I never spoke to him. The way Jada loved Pac rendered me incapable of being friends with him. I was too immature." Jada, also reflecting on her relationship with Shakur during an episode of her Facebook Watch series Red Table Talk, says of her and her rapper friend, "We were anchors for each other," Pinkett Smith said, referring to their dynamic as a complex relationship. Jada also spoke very highly of her and Tupac's platonic relationship during an interview with Sway in the Morning. She broke down just how much the pair's bond meant to her. "Pac and I's relationship was about survival. I know that most people want to always connect it in this romance thing, and that's just because they don't have the story. But it was based on survival, how we held each other down, and when you have somebody that has your back when you feel like you are nothing, that's everything." Thankfully, Will and Jada's relationship progressed beautifully over time, with the two getting married in 1997. Their marriage has since produced 2 children, Jaden 23 and Willow 20, and Jada is also a stepmom to Will's first son, Trey Smith. Will's raging jealousy over Tupac aside, you'll do well to remember that this is not the first time the Smiths have been very vocal about their marriage to the public. Almost too vocal, some will say. The husband and wife have both occasionally expressed their point of view on the state of their union. In July 2020, Jada and Will sat down to address the swirling allegations of them operating an open marriage. Earlier in the year, singer August Alsina came out to say that he had had a several months-long affair with Jada in 2015, with Will giving them both his blessing. Addressing the singer's confession in an episode of Red Table Talk, Jada first revealed she and Will had actually been separated indefinitely at the time, after which she found herself in what would later become a popular catchphrase for relationships that do not have a clear definition: an entanglement. Although Jada later clarified that the entanglement had been a romantic relationship with her then-separated husband in the know, many fans still weren't happy with their opinion of the Girls Trip actress. To them, Jada was the unfaithful partner and Will totally deserves better. A Twitter account dropped their 2 cents on the infidelity conversation, tweeting, "I feel for Will Smith. He couldn't even hide his expressions in that Red Table Talk video. Jada really hurt him. The pain is real." While a second user expressed confusion on the start of the couple's marriage and whether or not they both operate an open marriage. She said, "I don't know about you. Will and Jada might have opened up, but I still haven't a clue what the heck is going on in their marriage." To jog your memory of Pac and Jada's connection, Shakur, who was shot dead by unknown gunmen in September 1996, and Jada Pinkett both attended the Baltimore School for the Arts together in the 1980s and quickly became inseparable after connecting over their shared passion for theatrical arts, which led to an exceptional friendship even after the rapper's untimely death. Their close friendship led to years of speculation on if the pair's relationship was as platonic as they both insisted, or if they had something more going, of which both parties confirmed on several occasions that they were just friends and nothing more, especially how Tupac had a poem he dedicated to Jada professing his love for her and how she was his heart in human form. Sadly for Jada, who revealed in 2017 that she and Tupac had gotten into a hardcore fight before his death and weren't on speaking terms when he was killed. Many of the actor's fans have noted how miserable Will seems in the newly released book, and noted if ending the 24-year-long marriage would not be a better solution for the rapper MC's mental health. Will, on the other hand, might not share in the public's sentiments about his wife being a cheater. Earlier this year, he publicly commented on his and Jada's relationship for the first time since their infamous Red Table Talk and Will's book press, revealing how both he and his wife, with mutual agreement, have engaged in other sexual relationships outside of the marriage, affirming the age-long rumor of having an open marriage. Should Will be jealous of Jada and Tupac's strong likeness? Like many believe, do you think Jada loves her Fresh Prince of Bel-Air husband as much as she loves Pac, or even at all? If Pac were alive, who do you think Jada would go for in a sexual relationship, Will or Shakur? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. See you next time, and thanks for watching.